my podcast. My name's Jooles, and this is my co-host for the moment, Mabel. Isn't it, Boo? Yeah. She's just come up for a little cuddle, but she'll be off again soon. Did I say my name's Jooles? I think I did. It's been a while. I did plan on coming back much sooner. Hang on one second. Off you go then, Boo. You want to go or you want to stay? Hey. Yeah, I'm sorry I've been away quite so long as I have. Maybe I'll get into that a bit in the chatter section. It's not very comfortable. Mabel, babes, what's he doing? You want to go down? You want to get down? I think I'll put it. Oh, there you go. Okay, let's start again. So this is podcast number 22, and my podcast today is mostly about knitting. There's a tiny bit of crochet. Mabel, now she's fiddling with my lighting. Mabes, leave it. Leave. Now she's off to my yarn. Leave. You, what do you want to, Boo? So it's very distracting having a doggy. But hey, where am I? This is a shambles. Okay, she's getting on the sofa now, so she'll go to sleep. So as I say, it's mostly knitting. Leave it. She's in a mischievous mood this morning, it seems. Okay, you can find me on Instagram quite a lot. You can find me on Etsy, where I sell project bags and stitch markers. What else do I sell? Oh, enamel pins and other bits and bobs. You can find me on Ravelry, and everywhere you can find me as So Sweet Violet. You can also find now she's in my bin. It's one of her favourite things to do. She goes in my bin and takes things out and kind of hides them. Mabel, what are you doing? You're quite distracting this morning. We also have a group on Ravelry, which is So Sweet Violet podcast, I believe. And on there you can enter any giveaways that I'm having here, just general chatter. You can join in on any alongs that I host, which I haven't done for a while, but maybe in the new year there'll be a new along of some kind. What else do I need to say? I live in West Sussex. I kind of live on the border of West Sussex, Hampshire and Surrey, so I never quite know what to say where I live. But yes, I say West Sussex, so there we go. Mabel and I have been for a lovely walk this morning. It's really, really cold. I think it was 3 degrees Celsius, which is pretty nippy and quite damp, but we bundled up and it was nice, and it's refreshing and wakes me up in the morning for sure. And I took a little bit of footage this morning to put at the end of this podcast, so I know lots of you look forward to that. So yes, so I took that this morning. Okay, I think I've mentioned everything apart from the date. The date is Tuesday the 28th of November. I cannot believe we are nearly in December. It is so mind-boggling. I feel like this whole year has been on fast forward, and it's hard to slow down and kind of just take everything in and appreciate everything, because everything feels like it's going fast forward times 12. But I'm loving the season. It's super pretty. Autumn is just gorgeous, and I don't think I really appreciated it when I was younger, but I love it now and I yearn for it. So I'm really embracing it and enjoying it in all its colour glory. Okie dokie, I think that's all the administrative stuff. I obviously can't say that word. That was all the stuff I say at the beginning of my podcast. So I've made myself a nice cup of tea this morning in my cute little raccoon mug. Ooh, so sweet. I've had this mug quite a few years. I got it from Disney World in Epcot. There's like a bit, well, say a bit, a massive part of Epcot at the top is all different countries, and this was from Japan, and I love it so much. It's so sweet. I have a panda one as well, which I've shown before, but I don't think the raccoon has ever had an airing before on my podcast. And in my cup is Heath and Heather morning time tea, which I'm not actually sure what's in it because it doesn't say anything on this little packet, but it's very nice. I feel like I'm a bit shiny and glowy this morning. I've actually got a different light set up. I don't know if it's better or worse, but I've actually got, I've been struggling a little bit. I was going to talk about this later, but it kind of links in. The reason I've not been here for quite a while was because I've had a bit of a bad time with my depression again. That evil imp came and wasn't invited. He's never invited. So I had a really bad few weeks with the evil imp. Not sure why, but Pete, my husband, seems to think it happens every year around this time. So he suggested maybe getting one of those light boxes. So I did, and I've been using it religiously every day since I've had it. And that's the light you can see coming from this direction. I've got the, I call it sad lamp, but I think it's just a light box. And I've just put a muslin cloth over it just to dull it down. Not for the purpose it was intended, but I thought actually it might make a really good lighting thing for my podcast, and I'm getting all the vitamin D and everything at the same time. So I think it's helped. I don't know what you think, but anyway, the light box has certainly helped me for the reason it's intended. As I say, I've used it every day since I've had it for kind of 20 minutes, half an hour. But you have to have it really close to your face. I think it's 20 centimetres for 20 minutes. And it has helped. It's taken a while. I had a spell where I literally had to cancel my social life. And I'm not a big one for going out and meeting people. I love being home. But I'd planned a few really lovely things with some special friends, and I just couldn't even think about leaving the house. I managed to take Mabel for her walk every day because I think that's kind of therapy. But I had to go places where it was less likely that I'd meet anybody, because even just saying good morning to somebody was just, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just horrifying, really. So that was a really horrible time, but the evil imp is only this big now, maybe less. He's getting smaller every day, and I can't tell you how happy I am and excited to be here, because when I get down, I knit a lot, so I have a lot to show you today. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, because maybe you were wondering, because I know I've had a few messages wondering where I was, but that's it, and it's fine, everything's fine. I'm feeling so much better, and I won't let that evil imp beat me. Okay, so let's get on with some of the nitty things. So, finished things. I have, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 finished things to show you. I know, that's amazing. So first up, I showed these last podcast. These are my sandy socks. They are named because the lovely Sandra of Sandy by the Lakeside gifted me the yarn for this, and it's so pretty. I'm going to see if I can get a close-up for you. It's so pretty. It's more vibrant in real life than it's showing. Oh, that's quite good. But it's still a little more vibrant in real life. It is, let me think, Scrumptious Pearl yarn, and this has literally got me addicted to Scrumptious Pearl yarn, and I'll show you something later. But they're so pretty, and I blame you, Sandra, for getting me addicted. It's no hardship, I can tell you, so thank you. So these were knit Whirlwind Toe. I have so many people asking me where they can find the pattern for the Whirlwind Toe. So just to say, if you go on my Ravelry projects page, nearly every pair of socks I have knit, I have used the Whirlwind Toe, and I've linked in the pattern notes, in the project notes, I've linked to the Whirlwind Toe pattern. So you shouldn't have any trouble finding it. It's not my pattern, it's some clever guy who made this design, and it's brilliant and I love it. And I use it on nearly every pair, as you know. So I use 2.25. My reasoning for using 2.25 is because when I knit the Fish Lips Kiss heel, I find it a little bit tight across this part of my foot. So I'm just trying out different options just to make it a little bigger. So these certainly fit me perfectly. Okay. And I did a 2x2 rib and a Jenny surprisingly stretchy bind off. There we go. Where's the other one then? Oh, there it is. So I have got two. They're really soft as well, really, really soft. Do I need to tell you anything else apart from the fact that I love them? And this, it was a Gobstopper ball, which I love, and it came with a mini, which I really love for self-striping, so then you can do the toe, heel and cuff, and especially the heel, it doesn't mess up the stripes, so you can just do the heel independently of any other part of the sock, so you still get the beautiful striping. Is that everything? I've kind of forgotten what I say, but I think so. So these are my Sandy socks and I love them, so thank you, Sandra, for the yarn. You have got me badly addicted. Okay, next up, I told you I've been doing a lot of knitting. It's my therapy when I feel down. Now next up, and I know these will not show the true colour, but I've posted a couple of pictures and a tiny video on Instagram where the colour is, I'd say, very accurate. So these, they look so washed out, I don't understand. They are beautiful mossy avocado green. And these are the Evergreen socks by Madeline Gannon. You can see the beautiful trees there. I first saw this pattern on the amazing Amy from Stranded Dye Works podcast. Oh, I love you, Amy. You just cheer me up every time I see you. You're just a breath of fresh air. So yeah, that's where I saw the pattern. I must knit those. And I actually knit these cuff down, which is unusual for me, but I followed the pattern, I think exactly, which is also unusual for me. So it's cuff down, 2x2 rib, and these beautiful trees that go all the way around. And the pattern is so easy, it's really simple. I think it looks impressive as well. Then it's got a lovely, I think this is called Ive Partridge heel, so that was a heel flap, and gusset increases here, down all the way to the toe, which, what toe is that? Is that a rounded toe? Maybe. You see, I'm not used to other toes. And of course the little bunnies make an appearance, and here's the other one. Can't separate them. Ooh. These bunnies, by the way, come from the knitting shed. So these are beautiful, and I wish they'd show up a bit better in colour. But the yarn for these was from my sweet, sweet friend Antonella, who is Cozy Posy Yarn Co. I had to think, because she changed her name a while ago. She used to be Antonella Makes. And she dyed the yarn especially for me because I really wanted to make these socks, and she said she would, so it's like, oh, thank you. It's a beautiful base, which I cannot remember the base, but I'm going to try really hard to see if I can show you how sparkly it is, even if the colour is not accurate. I have to say, I think this is the sparkliest yarn I've ever knit with. It's not showing up as sparkly as I see it, but it is so pretty and sparkly. Oh, she's a clever girl, that Antonella. And this yarn is washed up, puppy ear soft. It's beautiful. So, Antonella, you keep dyeing. So they are my, what did I call them? Christmas tree socks. I knit these ones on 2.25, I believe, but all the notes will be on my Ravelry page. Gosh, I'm not used to talking this much. Right. Now, before I show you this next pair of socks, I know, 3 pairs of socks? Is it 3? Yes, 3. Before I show you this next pair of socks, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who purchased one of my Little Bird party kits. Honestly, I have no words really. You surprise me every time. Every time I do an update, I worry and think, oh, will anybody want to buy them? And you always do, but I'm always waiting for the update when people are like, don't want that. Anyway, luckily for me, it's not happened. So anyway, these socks are knit with the yarn from the Little Birds party kit. I love these so much. I'm going to give you a close-up, if I can. Just want you to see the stitch pattern. Can you see? Come on, camera. I hope you can see the stitch pattern. It's just a little pattern I made up. It's very simple. I'll tell you in a second how to do that. But this yarn was dyed for me by Karen of Twisted Limone, who is a sweetheart. And we worked together on it, and she used all the colours from the bag and the linen and created this amazingly pretty colour, which I love. I just love this fade. It goes from the dark pink to the mid pink, pale pink, light beige, dark beige, back into the, it's just beautiful. So for these I did my usual toe, whirlwind toe. And again, the details of the toe will be on the project bag for my Little Birds Party socks. Little Birds Party socks, that's right. And I did a fish lips kiss heel and a 2x2 rib, and I knit these on 2.25. Okay, for this pair of socks, I didn't use 2.5 like in my sandy socks. So I tried out a different method for making this bit a little looser. What I did for the 2 rows before you get to the heel, I increased 1 on either side of the sole stitches for 2 rows. So that increased 4 stitches if you do it on the 2 rows before the heel. So it just gives you 4 extra stitches, which has definitely helped. But I think if I try this again, I think I'm going to try and increase 6 stitches. But if you do it very close to the heel, well, I have found it's not messed up the stripes. So that's what I'm trying at the moment. So I just want to, because I love, 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 love knitting with self-striping yarn. So I want to find the perfect way of making them fit, as well as the heel flap and gusset, which definitely fits me better. But I'm on a mission to sort it out so I can carry on knitting self-striping with a Fish Lips Kiss heel, which is brilliant for stripes because it doesn't mess up the stripes. So that said, I then did a Fish Lips Kiss heel and 2x2 rib. Karen kindly gave me a mini of the darker pink as well, so that's how I managed to get the heel and the toe in the darker colour. Now for the stitch pattern, all I did was, when the yarn changed colour, sometimes it's in the middle of a row, sometimes not often, it's at the beginning of a row. You just wait till your yarn's changed colour, maybe do a couple of extra stitches, and then you slip every fourth stitch on that round rather, so slip every fourth stitch on that round, and then on the following round you slip the same stitch again, so you slip that stitch 2 rows. And then when your next stripe comes in, so when your yarn changes colour for the next time, you do exactly the same, but I just count along the stitches so that my little slip stitches all line up. So I think that makes sense, but if you have any issues and cannot understand my garbled words, just get in touch with me and I'll help out. So they are my Little Birds party socks and I love them. I'll show you that other one. Oh, they're so pretty, and look how sparkly they are. These are super sparkly as well. Oh, so lovely. Have I told you everything about those? I think I have. And I hope if you bought the kit that you all like it. It was really good fun to put together. I've got so many exciting things in the planning for next year. I think I'm going to keep them a secret for now, but believe me, I have lots of exciting things and a couple of collaborations. I find it so hard to keep secrets because I want to tell you everything, but we'll have to wait and see. That tea is yummy. Okay, so the next finished thing I've got to show you, well actually I haven't got to show you because it's on the dearest little baby's head right now because I've seen a photo this morning. I made, if I can show you this, that's a better picture. Okay, this is tricky to show because I don't want to show the pattern. I'm going to cover it up with my show notes. It's not easy at all. Okay, I made this little cap, can you see? And it's called the Dough Cap, and it's from Making Magazine #2, which was called Fauna, and I really intend next year to knit more from my knitting books because I have some lovely ones. I have all of the Making magazines and there's always brilliant patterns in here, and I've also got Woods magazine coming my way, which is really exciting. So anyway, back to this pattern. A very special friend of mine has just had the sweetest baby girl. She looks like a little fairy baby and she's just adorable, and her mum is heavenly. Anyway, I wanted to make a little present, so I made the little dough cap, and I haven't even got I'm not very organised. Okay, I will put the details on the screen of what yarn I used, and I haven't got the dough cap here because, as I said, the baby's actually wearing it right now. So I'll put some photos in here so you can see. And I followed the pattern completely and I knit the smallest size, and it only took I think it was one 50-gram ball of whatever I put down here. I also lined the ears with a little bit of Liberty fabric in kind of pink. I think it's Betsy and something. It's a smaller Betsy pattern and it's so pretty. So I lined the ears with that just to give it a little, well, I just like to squeeze a bit of Liberty in when I can. And Alice, who's Small Murmurations on Instagram, is the mummy of this sweet little fairy baby, and she loved it, so I was really pleased about that. Oh, she gave me this pretty necklace actually. I'll show you. Isn't that sweet? Oh, I love its little birds on there. Thank you, Alice. So, I hope you've seen the pictures okay. And so that is my 4th finished thing. There's more. Okay, I have another thing which I can't show you at this moment, but I can put in some pictures. I made for another sweet little fairy baby again, who's so adorable. The lovely Bethany of Woolberry Fibre Co. just had her little baby called Theo just a few weeks ago, and we decided to do a little pin swap, and I wanted to make something for her little baby. So I made from this book, which I highly recommend. It's amazing. Look at just the front cover is just so cute. I just want to make everything. Now actually, if you look at the back, that might be the best way of showing you. I made this little caterpillar guy, so sweet, and I made him a cocoon as well. And it's such a good book, and I think it's really brilliant for children because you can knit the whole life cycle of a caterpillar. And there's other things as well, it's like snails, and there's even a little green fly, which is so sweet. So, oh, here we go, I can show you. So here's the caterpillar. This is the egg, first of all. Ooh. This is the caterpillar. Ooh, it's very hard with this camera to know which way to go. This is him in his cocoon, and then you can knit the wings just to slip on to the caterpillar's body. Ooh, like this. So this is a little band that slips on the caterpillar's body and give him some wings so he turns into a butterfly. And it's so sweet. It was quite fiddly, but that's probably because I'm not a massive crocheter. I only do it occasionally, but I did really enjoy it. And I just used some leftovers. I used some, actually let me put the picture in here and then I'll talk about it while you can see the actual photos. I used some Gatsby yarn from Amy, who is a little tailoress, which I knit my Clark socks out of. And what else did I use? I think the rest were just odd scraps that I had, and it worked out really well in sock yarn, so I was so pleased about that, and I love his little antennae, so sweet. So that is my 5th in the making. No, that's my 5th finished thing, not in the making. I don't know what I'm talking about. And my very last thing, which must be my 6th finished thing, is something I've been knitting with Bryony. I've been teaching Bryony to knit, and she's made a couple of dishcloths just to get her skills honed. And then we decided to make a cowl each, and we'd seen this pattern when we went to Brighton last year, just over a year ago, and we went to, is it Yak in Brighton? Yes, I think it's Yak. And they had a sample of this lovely cowl. So we got the pattern and the yarn ready for when she wanted to learn. So this is, I think it's a free pattern actually. So it's the bandana cowl, and we both knitted it in Malabrigo Chunky. And I use cactus flower. I should have brought Bryony's cowl. Oh no, she's wearing it today, so that wouldn't work. She used a lovely turquoise colour. Maybe I'll try and show it next podcast if she's not wearing it. And it's lovely yarn, and I'm really sensitive to wool. Well, alpaca especially, but even this jumper, which is really soft, is a little tickly around here, so I'll probably have to take it off later or wear a higher collared t-shirt underneath. So anyway, enough about that. Here is my cowl. It's a really, really good shape. So this is the back. So you have, it's not like a scarf where you have all this like wrapping, and it's like really big and chunky, which they look beautiful, but they always give me a bit of a stiff neck. But this, I'm going to try and put it on without wrecking my hair. This is really good. So it keeps all your front nice and cosy. And I'll show you the back. I don't know if you can see anything, can you? And the back is just quite short. So it's really nice. Again, the colour's not quite right. It's much more vibrant. And I also put a picture of this on Instagram. So yes, it's a bandana cowl and it's super easy. You start down here and you knit straight for a while in short rows, and then you just join in the round and knit round and round and round, decreasing. And it's a really good beginner knit, I'd say. We're decent. So, let me tell you a bit about it. What was it knitting? It took 2 skeins of this Malabrigo chunky. What needles did we use? Well, basically, I don't know. We followed the pattern, but it's in American sizes, and I don't know the conversion, but we converted it, and I think it was 6 or something like that. Could be wrong, don't quote me on that. So that's all my finished things. See, you do get some benefit from the evil imp being around, although it was horrid. Okay, in the making. Now I've been making this pullover, I'm going to call it. I get it out of the bag for a little while now, and it's knit out of fingering, so that's probably why. But I have, this is my door pullover. Oops, I don't want to get in too much of a tag. It's such pretty colour. And I've completed the front. I remember when I showed you this last time, I not liked my bind off. I think I'd not done it very well. So then I unpicked that. That was on the front. Then I unpicked it and then bound off again, kind of just normal bind off in rib. And I didn't like that. So I just left it for a while, put it on the naughty step. Then what did I do then? I guess I just started on the back. So I finished the back as well. It's a strange shape. It's a lot of knitting in there. And I cast off the back again, and I used the tubular bind off again. It's much neater this time. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to stand up and see if I can give you a better close-up. There, it's possibly not perfect, really. But it's much better than it was. So I can't remember how I did this, but I've cast this off twice too. Yes, bind-offs are tricky for me, I think. So anyway, I'm in the process of doing a tubular bind-off on the, must be the back, or it could be the front. I could probably tell you really, but so I've done my 4 rows of knit one, slip one, knit one, slip one. So now I have to separate the stitches, and then do is kind of a Kitchener really. So I just need to do that, and hopefully I'll get that done this afternoon. I'm going to kind of put it on for you, I think. Bear with. I'm in a tangle. Oh, sorry, getting distracted. Aha. So, my hair's going to be trashed. Okay. So, oh man, I'm in a tangle. Okay, so it's quite wide, so it should fit. And it's quite long. It's longer at the back than it is at the front. Okay, it's all curled up. But you get the idea. So I'm getting there, and I just have the sleeves to go really. I've got a bit of binding off and stitching up. I think you stitch up 5 inches because it's got a lovely big slit, that's the word. So I'll find the picture. I've shown this a million times, so you're probably very bored with seeing it, but I'll show you again. There we go. So that's what it looks like. I might have to put the right side there. So that's what, so I need to stitch up this little bit here and then do the sleeves. And the yarn is beautiful, and it is also from my, don't seem to have any labels in here. No. But it's from my lovely friend Antonella. I am addicted to her. It's not showing up at all as vibrant as it is, but it's super pretty, and it's lots of pinks. Is it her strawberry wine colourway? Gosh, I hope I got that right. I think it is. It's so pretty. So pretty. So pretty. So that is my first in the making. I'm going to put it away. I don't want any of those stitches coming off the needles after all the bind off issues I've had. But I'm sticking with it because I love it, and it's going to be beautiful to wear and really useful, and I love those kind of loose sort of lightweight pullovers. Oh yes, I have more things. I'm just going to get myself a bit more comfy. Quick drink. I hope you've all been happy and healthy since I last saw you, and have managed to fit in lots of crafty time, because I really think that helps with our health. It's not always easy to fit in, but I'm lucky. I work from home, so if I'm having a bit of a downtime, I can just chill out a bit and just indulge in it, just as therapy really. So I feel very lucky that I can do that. And yes, I've got some new things started. Well, I say new, I don't think you've seen them. You might have seen them on Instagram, but you haven't seen them on the podcast. Okay, so I'm knitting some candy cane socks. Oh, I'm not prepared. Here we go. I'll get a close up for you. So these are my candy cane socks, and I'm using this gorgeous yarn. From Regina, Regina Herbstblatt, Regina, who also dyes gorgeous yarn, and I do love her yarn. And I think German yarn is always a little bit chunkier. It's slightly a heavier weight than our fingering, and it really does make for a lovely dense fabric, which I think, well actually I know because I've made some before, are very hard wearing and really warm. So this is her, oopsie, this is her, I'm going to get this wrong I think, Spitzbuben colourway. I'll let you read that. Spitzbuben colourway. and it's on a hazel soft sock in the fingering weight. I love her label, it's so pretty. Gorgeous. So I chose a little mini from, who am I kidding? I don't know. A little mini out of my stash, which is a lovely turquoise colour. Actually, I have a feeling this might be Kate Celine. I think I might be right, but who knows. So, as you've seen, I've already knit one. Shall I get my sock blocker? I think that might be easier. Let's grab the first one. Sorry, my chair's very squeaky today. Oh, it's so nice to be back. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be back with you. Thank you for always being patient with me. I know I'm not one of the podcasters who's so organised and manages to podcast a set time each week or each 2 weeks, and I really want to be, but it just doesn't seem to fit in with me, you know. So I really appreciate that you stick around and come back and watch me. So thank you. But anyway, socks. So I did this pattern again. So started off with the whirlwind toe, and then I went into the bob sock pattern, which is a pattern that I think it's Louise Tilbrook designs on Instagram. You'll find the link in my Ravelry page and also on my blog in my show notes. And she released this pattern on Instagram. She did, I think she did the toe, then she did the foot, and obviously including the pattern and the heel, and she released it in parts on Instagram, which was so brilliant. And I didn't do it at the time, but this is my second pair of bob socks and I love them. It's such a simple pattern. It's enough to keep me interested because I do struggle with just a vanilla sock. And it looks, doesn't it look nice? I think it looks gorgeous, just adds enough interest. And when I started knitting these, I was really excited because it was just this fine stripe here, like this here. And then it started getting this swirly pattern. And in the beginning, I wasn't too sure if I liked that. And I showed them to Brian. He showed, oh, they look like candy canes. You know how they're twisted? And I thought, actually, that's really true. So these are my candy cane socks. Oops, there we go. Ooh. And I love the turquoise contrast. I think it's a really nice combination, I suppose. So I'm actually not far off of finishing. Let me show you. So that's the heel there. So I'm not far off of finishing those. So I think maybe by the end of the week they'll be done. I've knit so many socks this year. I think maybe my next podcast, I think, if you'd like to see all my socks, I think I might get them all out and show you all the socks I've knit in 2017. I'm impressed myself, I can tell you. So these were knit, or are being knit on 2.25. And I also did that little increase before the fish lips kiss heel on these. I increased 4 stitches altogether. So my next, I mean, these fit really nice, but I still could do with a teeny bit more room, I think, here. So next time I'm going to try and increase 6 stitches and just see how that helps. I think that could be the perfect recipe. So there we go. They're really thick and cosy. Sometimes I think, am I making too many socks? Should I just kind of knit something else? But I love knitting socks and I wear them every single day in the winter time. I've got some on today. Let me show you. Ooh. My goodness, Pilates is coming in handy here. They are my Bumble socks. They're on my Ravelry page if you want to see, but I love them. I love all my hand knit socks. There's not a pair that I don't adore. So they make me happy and I wear them. So I'm just going to carry on making them. And I've been really excited by lovely Amy Florence from Stranded Dye Works. She is trying to knit 24 or 25 pairs of Christmas socks eventually, so that in December she has a different pair of Christmas socks every day. I don't think I'm going to knit 25 pairs, but I'd like to have 12 pairs because I generally wear my hand knit socks for 2 days. Shock horror. Normal socks, I don't. I wash my socks every day, but I think hand knit socks, I don't think they need washing every day, and I could probably wear them a bit longer, to be honest. So if I had 12 pairs, that would be so nice. So I think, I've been on a bit of a yarn bender lately. I've been very naughty. But I've managed to acquire quite a lot of Christmas yarn, beautiful Christmas yarn. So I think I'm going to try that. So thanks, Amy, for the inspiration. So they are my candy cane socks. I'm getting quite a pile here. Okay, I mentioned on my last podcast that I needed a hat. So I've started one. I thought I might have one finished. But guess what? I had trouble with the cast on, the tubular cast on. If anybody knows of a really good tutorial, nice and simple, for these, not circular, tubular, for the tubular cast on and the tubular bind off, I'd be really interested because I've tried quite a lot, but they all vary slightly, and especially if you're knitting in the round, I don't think I found one for knitting in the round, so I had to kind of make that bit up myself. So if anyone knows of a good tutorial on YouTube, please let me know. Okay, I am knitting the quill hat, okay, by Andrea Mowry. My most exciting thing is that I want to use this pom-pom. It's the softest shell pink. Oh my goodness, it's the prettiest colour. I think I have a thing for this colour. Oh, look at my hair. Oh my goodness. It did look quite nice this morning. Then I went on a dog walk. Since I've tried on a cowl, what else did I try on? A jumper, a pullover. So anyway, that's the pom-pom that's going on the top. So I have got this far. It's blowing out a lot. It's much darker in colour. It's kind of a dusky grey purple, I guess. And the yarn, it's very pretty, is Madeline Tosh Vintage in the Scout colourway. No, that's not the Scout colourway. I think that's wrong. That's another. I think it's Night Bloom. And it's 100% merino wool. Yep. Apart from the tubular cast on, which, I had issues with. I don't know what's wrong with me and tubular thingies. But there's the hat. I'm not going to put it on. There we go. I think it's going to look pretty. But anyway, I need this hat for Friday, because on Friday, Pete and I are going to Germany, to Cologne in Germany, to the Christmas market over there. Something we've wanted to do for years. We finally got around to doing it. So we're taking the train early Friday morning. I've got a couple of changes. We go through the tunnel and everything, so it's quite an adventure. And we're travelling first class on the train. And we're staying in a lovely hotel, and it's just for the weekend. We come back on Monday, so that'll be really exciting. But it's cold, really cold over there, so I need a hat. I need a nice hat to keep my ears warm so I don't get earache. But actually, before I put this away, let me show you these stitch markers. So cute. I got these from Chapel View Crafts. Look at that little gingerbread man. I'll put a link to her Etsy, is it Etsy? Yeah, her Etsy shop on my blog. Look at that little snowman cookie. Oh, it's so adorable. Sorry, the colour goes really... Oh, hello. The colour goes really strange. But anyway. And a mince pie. Just cute. She does some beautiful stitch markers and all sorts of needle minders and pictures and things as well. So they're beautiful. So that's Chapel View Crafts. So have I got anything else? No, that's all my in the making. Well, I do have my Cozy Memories blanket and my teeny tiny Cozy Memories blanket. I haven't done any on the teeny tiny one, but I've added a few squares on my just my standard Happy Patchwork blanket, but I think there's only 3 squares, so I didn't think I'd show you that today, because I had so many million other things to show you. I do have something ready to cast on, so I'm kind of calling it in the making, although it's ready but not started. In my bag. Oh my goodness, I had to save myself one of these bags. I don't normally do that. When I make bags to sell, I just sell them. I think I have enough bags, and so many lovely people have gifted me bags. But I really fell in love with this bag, which was in my last shop update. Ooh. Show you the glitter. I love that glittery fabric, it's so gorgeous. And this fabric here, which is so, so sweet, is from lovely Amy Sinibaldi, who has quite a few fabric ranges out now. I think this was her little town. And she's such clever. I just love her style. And I love all the little reindeer with stars in her antler, and the little cat. Oh no, it's a little mouse holding them, and the cat. This is so hard on this side, but it's so sweet. So I just had to keep myself one of these. So I'm sorry. I always feel really guilty when I keep stuff. But anyway, so these are going to be my next project will be a pair of socks. And they're going to be the Wonderland socks by Tabby from the Hey Sister podcast. I love your podcast, girls. They do such a lovely podcast. I'm sure they don't watch mine, so that was probably a waste of time saying. But I love their podcast. I'm sure you all watch it. And Tabby's come out, I think, with 3 patterns recently, and I've bought all 3 because they're just lovely. So these are going to be Christmas socks for Bryony, and they're going to be knit out of this, which is not showing up. It's quite crazily bright. It is almost neon, which is not showing up there at all. Maybe I'll try and put a picture on my Instagram feed so you can see the true colour. So I'm going to be knitting these 2 at a time. So I've divided my yarn baller is making me so angry. It is hopeless. It only has to do one thing in life, and that's ball my yarn, but it can't do it properly. So there we go. Yeah. Do you know, it's so hard to get things straight. There. So this is the yarn. I can't believe how different it looks on screen, but it is lovely. And I have this gorgeous mini to go with. And the mini is from the super lovely Beth, who is Beehive Yarns, who I'm also addicted to. And this is much greener in real life, more turquoise than blue. But hey ho. So that is going to be a pair of Wonderland socks for Bryony for Christmas. So I'll probably take those away with me to Germany, along with something else which I'll show you in a minute. Oh, I didn't tell you what the yarn was, did I? It is Spectrum Fibre, which I've never used before, so let me show you that better. spectrum fibre, and the colour is Party in a Nebula. So I'm really looking forward to see how that knits up. So that's all my in the making. I'm in such a mess already. Magical arrivals. Look, magical arrivals. Now you're probably thinking, wow, what a beautiful shawl Jooles is wearing. And I am. This was a gift for me. Isn't it beautiful? From the sweetest lady, Tracy, who is, I think, my comfy couch. I've been calling her my cozy couch for a while. Sorry, Tracy, but I think you're my comfy red couch or comfy red couch. I'll write it down here. Comfy red couch. It's comfy red couch, I'm sure of it. But I'll write it down here if I'm wrong. But anyway, Tracy does a lot of test knitting for lots of different people. But this is one of her test knits, and she said she likes to keep them, and then sometimes someone will pop into her mind and think, oh, that's perfect for them. And she sent this to me. It was a total surprise, and it's absolutely beautiful. I've worn it a lot. Actually, the day that it turned up, I was having a really bad day. It was a few weeks ago. And I literally took it out of the packaging and just wrapped it around my knee. It was just like having a lovely big hug from someone who cared, and it was perfect. So thank you so much, Tracy. It is utterly beautiful. And I can't believe you gave this to me. It's so precious, and it must have taken you ages to knit. Excuse me. I think you said the yarn was Viola, which I've never used before, and the pattern, I wrote it down, is Transatlantic Crossing. And again, I'll put a link in my show notes. But it's so pretty. I'll take it off so I can show you. Let's get tangled up my necklace. Look how beautiful it is. I love this lovely cable design at the top. And then that pretty colour bit here. Oops. Along here with eyelets. And look at this lace. Isn't that amazing? So it's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put it back on if I can. You know, it's another thing. I'm not very good at wearing shawls, so I need to practice. Oh, actually that looks pretty good. I love it, Tracy. So thank you so much. You are a total sweetheart. She also sent me a little purse with lots of David's tea. I'm addicted to that stuff. I think they put something in it to make you addicted. It's delicious. Okay, I have actually been such a lucky girl since my last podcast. I've had so many kind gifts and things for giveaways. You're just so kind, you guys. So my second magical arrival was from my lovely friend Dale, who I met at the Curious Handmade Country House Retreat. I think that's quite a lot of words to explain one thing. And she's just started her own web shop. I guess it's a web shop, online shop. And it's got the most brilliant name, and it's called Farm to Cable Yarns. Isn't that clever? And look at the little, I don't know what this is. It's like a storage thing, and it's got like a cable, knitted cable. Oh, it's so cute. Love that so much. It's such a brilliant name, Farm to Cable Yarns. Anyway, she sent me this. I think this is so hard to get hold of, and I can't believe I have some. So this is another Christmas set. How gorgeous is that? And it's the Cozy Knitter in the Gingerbread House colourway. And I couldn't believe it. She said she wanted to send me a little something, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's lovely. When I opened the parcel, I could not believe it. So thoughtful and kind. She's such a sweet lady. So thank you, Dale. But she also sent me these adorable stitch markers. How sweet are they? That little owl and beautiful leaves. Oh, they're so beautiful. And they're made by a company called Fancy That. And I love the card that she puts on. It's just like a watercolour wash. It's such a clever idea. So thank you so much, Dale. And Dale's shop, I don't think she ships outside of Canada, but you may, if you're interested, just go and have a look. But she has some lovely, lovely things on there. So I just wanted to mention her because it's brave, isn't it, starting a new venture? So well done, Dale, and I wish you every success. Whoops. Okay, there's more, I know. A lovely lady contacted me called Charlie, and she said, could I send you one of my project bags? And she did. A little bag on here. Isn't that beautiful? Well, this was sent to me by Charlie, who is Charlie Feathers on Instagram, and she has an Etsy shop. And I think she's called Lowen Fibre Arts on Etsy, but I'll put links in my show notes. But it's got a lovely tree. I'll just stand up so I can show you. That beautiful tree with French knots making up the leaves and the little birds. It's so beautiful. And I think she said she dyed the fabric with avocado, so that's so sweet. It's a little bell and a bead here. A lovely purple zip. Just a plain pale lining, which I like for bags, so you can see what you've got in there. So yeah, so it's beautiful. So thank you so much, Charlie. It was so generous. And she also sent something for you. So I'll talk about that a bit later. It's so pretty, and there's her label on the back. Oh, it's beautiful. It must have taken hours to do all those French knots. Okay, and my last magical arrival. I have to say there has been more. Some I've shown on Instagram, and some you'll probably see over the next coming few podcasts. Okay, so I joined Amy, who is the little tailoress. She was doing a Gilmore Girls 2-month club. And, well, I love Amy. I totally adore you, Amy. And so I thought I could join her club. So I received mine probably 10 days ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. So if you haven't received your Gilmore Girls Club from Amy yet, you might want to look away now because I'm going to show mine. Okay, look away now, it's coming. Oh, it's not showing. It does annoy me. I wish my Logitech camera would sort the colours out. I've tried tweaking, but anyway. You can it's much more green. I'll get closer. No, it's not showing true. It's much more green and less icy blue. It's warmer than this. And look at the little progress keeper. Ah, it's so cute. It's got a candy cane, a bell and a turquoise bead. And I love the fact that this comes with a mini. I do love sock sets. And Amy and I are going to be doing a collaboration next year. So it might include a sock set from her. So look out for that. And it's beautiful. And the colourway, I've got in this little card here, let's see. The colourway is called A Whisper of Peppermint. And it's inspired by the candy cane coffee that Lorelei and Rory drank at Weston's in Series 7. And it's utterly, utterly beautiful, and it's sparkly. And it came with a chocolate bar, a minty chocolate bar, and a minty hot chocolate, which Bryony nabbed. I ate the chocolate bar though. I get in quick when it's chocolate. So Amy, oh, I'm sorry it's not showing up properly. I really am sorry. I wanted to show it in all its glory, but it's not. But it still looks beautiful. So that's all my magical arrivals. I hope you're not getting bored. It's quite a long podcast You might want to split this in two. And if you're still here, well done. Okay, I'm just going to have a little drink because it's thirsty work, this. Cold tea. I think I'm going to drink my water instead. This is my lovely unicorn glass. My lovely friend. That's better. Giveaway winner. Last time I showed some beautiful minis from Mr. B's Yarn. He is husband to Claire from Bird Street UK, who makes beautiful project bags. Anyway, Mr. B and Claire donated these beautiful cocktail minis as a giveaway prize. And I asked on Ravelry, I asked what was your favourite warming drink of the season. Wow, so many of you. I think it was 249 or something like that, and I was completely blown away. But I'm not surprised because those minis are so pretty. Anyway, I asked what your favourite warming drink was, and you told me, and I can tell you a lot of the warming drinks contain alcohol and lots of happy childhood memories as well, which is lovely, and that was really nice to read. But one drink that did come up quite a lot is hot apple cider. Now, I think this must be an American thing. Is it alcoholic or non-alcoholic? Could somebody tell me how to make it? Because that really appeals to me. Bailey's was mentioned a lot too. So, and hot chocolate. Hot chocolate was by far the most popular. So thank you so much to all of you who entered. And the winner is Rachel from Little Rock in Arkansas. I know it's America, it's Arkansas. I'll write it on the screen. She is Rach Wid on Ravelry, and her comment was 174, which was chosen by Siri on my phone. He's very useful, you know. So well done, Rachel. Congratulations, and thank you for entering. Actually, before I carry on, did I say thank you to Mr. B and Claire? Not sure I did. So thank you very, very much for your super kind donation. It's very sweet of you. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minis and a bag of jelly beans. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So I have a new giveaway for you. Two new giveaways for you. The first is this sweet little pouch from Charlie Feathers, who gave me the lovely bag, this bag here. She also sent this really sweet little notions pouch, I think, but could you get a project in? Maybe a little project. Just want to show you the little embroidery. Oh, it's so cute, the little bird feet and the little bird eating some corn and the flowers. Really, really sweet. So it's a beautiful little notions pouch with a bead zipper pull and a little handle. So soft as well, and I think this fabric must have been dyed with avocado too. And okay, so I'm going to open a thread in Ravelry, and the question I'd like you to answer is, I can't think of one. That was silly. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to think of a question and I shall put it in the thread for the giveaway. My mind has literally gone blank. Yeah, there's nothing in there. So you'll find the question, which will be a surprise, on our Ravelry page. So thank you so much, Charlie. You're very, very generous for, first of all, giving me one of your beautiful bags and then donating one to my lovely viewers. So thank you. Okay, and I have the second giveaway. I know, it's crazy, there's giveaways all over the place. The second giveaway I'll have running is for a pair of socks, and the socks are called Spellbound socks, and they are by the lovely Naomi, who donated this pattern to our podcast and to me as well. And she is Cozy Cute Knits on Ravelry, I think, and probably Instagram too. So I'll put a picture in here of the beautiful socks, and she says about them it's a very simple pattern, but it looks so beautiful. They're lovely, lovely socks, and I should definitely be making them. The rate I'm getting through socks, I need more patterns. So if you'd like to win a copy of Spellbound Socks by Naomi, maybe you could pop along to Ravelry and answer another surprise question. So thank you, Naomi. That's very, very kind of you to donate that pattern, and I really appreciate it, and thank you for mine too. Also, I should have said for the winner for the minis from Mr. B, Rachel, if you could contact me, that would be wonderful. You can contact me through Ravelry, through Instagram, through my blog, wherever, and I'll leave it a week or so, and if I haven't heard from you, I'll get in touch. Okay. I don't think I have any chatter left today. Oh, I do have chatter, because I forgot something in Magical Arrivals. On my last podcast, I mentioned about loving Scrumptious Pals so much, and I'd just seen a colourway called A Bushel and a Peck, and I literally fell in love with it. And amazingly, that same evening, I saw that Samantha had an update coming. And what was in that update? A bushel and a peck. Wow, I thought it was meant to be. So I literally pinged on that as soon as it came available. And it arrived a couple of days ago. Oh, camera, you're letting me down deeply. It's not showing half as pretty as it really is. Although it still looks very pretty. I think I might have to get a new camera. It's so beautiful. Now this little baby, I got the mini as well. This little baby ball cost me a fortune, but I don't mind. It was meant to be, so I had to buy it. So it cost me the money that it cost me buying it, then shipping. Then I had to pay another £15 almost on top of that for my customs charges, well, VAT and kind of post office charges. So this is a very, very precious ball of yarn, and they'll probably be the most expensive socks that I ever knit in my life. I love it. A Bushel and a Peck by Scrumptious Pal. So I'm super happy with that, although a bit broke. Shop news. Well, I don't have any shop news really, only to say thank you so much to everybody who bought something in my last update. My very last one was a bit smaller than I had planned because of the evil imp that sits upon my shoulder at times. But I hoped you liked everything I put up, and thank you so much. You blow me away every single time, as I said before. And I'm done this year. I won't be having any more shop updates this year. I need to do some catching up at home. I have my dreaded accounts to do because, as usual, I've left them far too long. I've got some other secret things I'm going to be working on that I can hopefully tell you in the new year. Anything else? I basically just want to say a huge, massive, gigantic, big thank you to all of the support I receive on my podcast, on Instagram, through my shop. All your love and kindness absolutely means the world to me, and I honestly feel so lucky and blessed to be able to do what I love, and I can tell you my brain is working, it's going bonkers at the moment with all these ideas. Should I tell you this? I have a new pin in the making, which I can't tell you how excited I am. And I wasn't even going to tell you that, so I should have that emoticon on my screen to remind me. You know, the little face with the zip. Should have that. Yes, that's so exciting. And well, I hope to podcast at least one more time before Christmas. And I think I've shared everything that I had to. So until I see you next time, stay safe and healthy and warm. Cool if you're on the other side of the world. And lots of love.